to a major drug bust in Syracuse and a tremendous amount of heroin now off the streets. Syracuse police have arrested 9 people after they say they discovered huge amounts of heroin, thousands of dollars in cash, and guns in 2 separate raids.
I am Brandon Whitaker, and my profession is graphic design, graphic art. Billion bust. I was always bust. And the billion part, that's a story I'll make less long. So I was always Buster. My god brother gave me that name, and over the years I shortened it to Bust. The billion part comes from Xbox Live, and I couldn't get the name I wanted, so they just gave me a automated list of random names, and billion was there. So I just went billion bust, and I've been that since maybe 06. So now, SU football, that happened on a coincidence. It was me going viral with a lot of memes, the haircuts and the AirPods, and it just blew up. It took off. And all that time before, when I was doing the recruiting work, didn't hear a peep from Syracuse University. Same city, just never heard from them. And then I blew up on memes. I get a DM, and they're like, oh, like, we're interested in you. And they didn't know I was here. And next thing you know, they brought me in on a visit. I went in, I liked the place, I met a few people, and then the rest is history. Social media, that's how I started, so that's the only way I could grow. I just used it to be a little different, you know, more of a different voice. I'm a little more outspoken than most other artists. And, you know, I take flack for it, but I get credit for it at the same time. You know, you gotta roll the dice sometimes and do something different if you want to be remembered. From Twitter, I was able to work with all the schools, Michigan, Miami, Florida State. I can't remember any other schools right now. But as far as hip hop goes, Joe Budden, that was somebody that was always been one of my favorite rappers. And when he finally reached out just on a whim, that was big for me. And I did some work with his, you know, for his singles and all those Drake disses. I did those, and you know, that was good. And then Instagram, the first rapper to ever reply to me was Dave East, and that's before local rappers worked with me or anything like that. It was the first one was Dave East. I get my artistic qualities from my mother, my brother, my sister. Like, we all grew up drawing and horsing around. So when it came to creative expression and creative freedom, we had that since birth, pretty much. The rest of it is just, you know, TV and influences and growing up and seeing things, but you know, it comes from my mom, and my mom gets it from her dad. This Jim Carrey canvas that you are looking at is a mistake. It is something I was just working on for fun because I like Jim Carrey, grew up on Jim Carrey. And I was working on something, and I got an email from a guy who says he wants a piece for his wife, and I started it. So I'm like, okay, does it matter what it is? He's like, no, she's a fan of your work. I'm like, cool. Make the piece, threw a background together. Next thing you know, he's like, all right, I'm gonna send you $4,000 for it. I'm like, cool. Sends me the check. Let's check for $6,000. It was supposed to be $4,000 for me, $2,000 for the company I was supposed to pick it up and ship it to the guy. So come to find out, this is a fake check, and you know, the bank figures it out late, freeze my account. I can no longer bank with Chase. They took all the money that I had in my account. You know, I'm the victim, and I was treated like the villain. So it was cool, you know, it was a learning experience, and you know, hopefully my little story can help people not get scammed into something like that. But you know, when it finally sells, which would be years after I'm famous and I'm big time, it'll be it'll be crazy because that's the first one. It'll be worth a lot, hopefully. My city is, I am my city. You are who you come from. We don't have much. It's not, I didn't grow up like poor or anything like that. But we middle class, and you gotta earn everything you get from Syracuse. It's like everybody that blows up, you work so hard to get on that stage, and when you get there, you gotta show out. So there's people that just from here, like example, like Brianna Stewart, she's from here, and the voice of SpongeBob is from here. It's just like, it's random people that blow up and change the world. So, Syracuse is just, that's why I am who I am. That's why my art looks the way it looks. It's colorful, it's different, and it's just, I'm starting to get my shot, and I gotta take advantage of it. Upcoming Black graphic artists from a small town, I would tell them to not take everything personal. That's what I did when I first got in the game. Everything I did that didn't go my way, I took it personal, and I took it as a shot, which isn't a bad thing because it turned into some great artwork that I created over the years. But the biggest piece of advice is to be yourself. Before anything else, always be yourself. Always stick to your vision. What worked for me was I stayed up all times of the night until my work looked the way I wanted it to. Tony Harris, that's my big cousin, one of the best airbrush artists I know. Long time ago when Carmelo won the championship, he airbrushed his shirt for him. A lot of people didn't know that. Vaughn Curry, another one of my big cousins, excellent artist. Locally, and definitely ProlificKid. You wouldn't be watching it without him. So that's really who inspires me locally. And Conway the Machine, from Buffalo, got shot, paralyzed one side of his face, probably shouldn't even be alive. Turned that into one of the greatest stories ever. Can't use one side of his face and still managed to become one of the best rappers I ever heard. So that's who inspires me. Hopefully, like, the real dream is for me to be as inspirational as I seen myself when I started. Hopefully the kids and people around here can look up to me as somebody they can be like, somebody they can emulate, somebody they can, follow that type of path, and have more kids following the line of being an artist. You don't always gotta rap, you don't always gotta, you don't gotta deal drugs, you don't gotta do anything wild. You can do things that are deemed as weird and blow up. If I wasn't a graphic artist, so I wasn't creating, I would definitely be doing something that I don't like, because I never had a plan B. I never had a backup plan. I never had all these, other opportunities. It was a dead-end job, and then art just opened my eyes. So I really don't have a backup plan. I can't see what I would be doing outside of this. But I don't know, sky's the limit, I guess.